Okay, so in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to animate Chun Li. We had her position previously. We're going to animate Chun Li and make sure that she is able to turn when Ken goes beyond, her X value. So what we're doing here is we're really setting ourselves up so that we can actually start doing some collision detection, and then some other animations such as like falling down or getting hit or whatever. And then from there, we're going to probably start adding some sounds so that collision detection actually looks nice. And then so for instance, with our fireball, we can do collision detection there, with our kicks, punch, so forth and so on. And then we'll start adding some other moves. We'll start adding some AI to Chun Li, so that Chun Li is able to move and potentially hit on her own or fire some fireballs and so forth. And then we'll start adding some of the UI stuff, such as like up here we would do the health bar and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's where we're headed. So this one's going to be a pretty quick video, and then we're going to go and go from there. So if you're liking this series, if you want to see more of it, it really motivates me when I see people, commenting on the video, and also when they just like and subscribe to the channel. That's the most motivation. When I see I have like 30 new subscribers, then I'm like, oh yeah, it was because of that video. Maybe I should release some more. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So let's go ahead and get right into the code. So what we want to do is we have Chun Li's position in here, and that is going to be right here. What we want to do is add her images, and so we're just going to go ahead and get into that. You can just copy these. We'll change some things up. And so what we need to change up is the name. This is going to be Chun Li Mirror. So these right here, we'll just say Chun Li Mirror. I'll copy this. And Chun Li Mirror is going to be Chun Li Mirror. And then Ken, we'll change this one to just Chun Li. And this is going to be Chuni. Okay, Chun Li. So we have both of the images, so the left and right facing images now. And so what we want to do is we want to add some frames so that these animations can actually happen. And so what we could do is just trying to do it with as few keystrokes as possible. We're just going to copy and paste that. This is going to be P2 frame count and P2 frame. And then we also need P2 frame speed. Okay. And so that looks good. And so what we want to do now is define some animation sequences that she can actually, go through. And I am just going to copy this right here, and I'm going to change it up. Oops. So this is going to be Chun Li Mirror Idle. So we have Chun Li Mirror Idle. And so these are all going to start at 0. I apologize if you can actually hear my baby crying in the background. I don't get very much time to do these, and so I take the moments I can. Okay, and so Okay, and so these values are all going to be within, so actually these are for the Chun Li idle animation, so we'll just change that. And so the Chun Li mirror is going to actually be some different values. And so we'll just go ahead and call this mirror. And so the X over here is going to start on the other side. So it's going to be 1399. This is going to be 1346. 1294 and 1241. And if you're curious about where I got these numbers, just refer to that first video where we were setting them up for Ken. And basically this is where that that frame of that sprite within the sprite sheet animation begins, and this is its width and this is its height. Okay. So one other thing that we need to do is we need to give the player 2 an initial state. It sounds like chaos in there, but things are under control. So Chun Li mirror idle is the initial state, and oops. Okay, and so now we have, what we could do is just turn these to true, because if they're idle, they're going to go from one idle state to the same idle state, and so they are auto repeating. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. So what we want to do now is we want to actually draw player 2. Okay. And so the first thing in drawing player 2 is we need to determine those states. Okay. And so here we're just going to say a function, draw player 2. If player 2 state dot state is equal to Chun Li mirror idle, we are going to draw the image, and so I'm just going to take one of these right here and change it up. So I went up and draw player 1, got that draw image, and so this is going to be the animation sequence that we need right here. So just going to go ahead and change all those Ken idle mirrors to Chun Li mirror idle, and so this is going to be Chun Li mirror. This is going to be P2 frame. And then we have P2X and P2Y. Okay, so this looks good. And then what if the state is just idle? So we have Chun Li idle. Then we have Chun Li, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, paste it over these states real quick, or these animation sequences. Okay, so that looks good. And what we're going to do now, whoops, sorry about that. What we're going to do now is we're going to update the frame count. So we're just going to say P2 frame count plus plus. And then we're going to check to see if the frame count has exceeded or has matched the frame speed. And if it has, that means that we need to increase the frame. So we're just going to say if P2 frame count mod P2 frame speed is equal to 0, then we're going to update the P2 frame. And we'll just set the frame count back to 0. Okay, and so what we want to do now is we want to check to see if the P2 frame is greater than the frames within the animation sequence. So we're going to say if P2 frame is greater than or equal to player 2 state dot frames, and if this is true, we can actually set the frame count back to 0. So P2 frame count is equal to 0, and we can actually set the P2 frame back to 0 too. So both of those are going to set to 0. And then we're just going to check the next state. So this means that we are the current state. So if the frame has exceeded the amount of frames within our current state, it means we're ready to move on to the next state, whatever that state may be. And so what we want to do now is we want to say if player 2 state dot next state is equal to Chun Li mirror idle. Okay, so this is actually a Chun Li with a lowercase l. Some of the naming is, it gets kind of off, but no big deal. And so I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And so if the state is also Chun Li idle, all right. So one thing that we need to do is, and this is for later on primarily, but if player 2y, either because the player 2 has been knocked down or whatever, and the the incrementing of the P2y is not always accurate. Sometimes the P2y will actually exceed or go over 92. Okay, and if it goes over 92, then it's going to look weird because it's going to be on a different level of the screen than the other player. So we just need to make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay, so if we are in the idle state, then the P2y should always be 92. So we're just going to actually just do some detection and say if P2y is not equal to 92, which is what it should for Chun Li, then we're just going to say P2y is equal to 92. Must be a better way of doing that, but I guess there is. We could just get rid of the if statement and say P2y is equal to 92. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Don't ask me why I had that in there to begin with, but we'll just set it equal to 92. So that simplifies that a little bit. And we're going to say if P2x is greater than P1x, then player 2 state is equal to this new object. And we're going to say state Chun Li mirror am I naming it incorrect? Chun Li idle mirror, Chun Li mirror idle. So let's just get rid of this. We'll cut this and put this on the end. Okay, so there's some naming issues that I got going on. So we have Chun Li mirror idle, Chun Li mirror idle. Now these are starting to match up. Okay, so this is going to have frames for auto repeat, true, next state, it's the current state we're in. Okay, perfect. And then we're just going to have an else statement here that says player 2 state is going to be equal to just Chun Li idle. Okay, perfect. And then there is a bug somewhere, or just some logic error somewhere in the code where even though the idle animation is all Chun Li has right now, at some point, and it's one of the edge cases where maybe the frame is going over or whatever, but there, at some point the next state is not equal to one of these things. Okay, and that gets fixed later on in the code base, but I don't really remember where it is currently. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to say else, and then we're going to throw this in there. And now this will change later on, and so this, we could just get rid of all of these right now, but we need this structure later on, so we'll just keep it for now, and this will change. So this will be all the other states that are going to go, like punching and kicking and stuff like that. But for right now, it's just like a catch-all statement that says, hey, you know, if we made some kind of mistake, do this, and we have made a mistake somewhere. I don't know where it is right now, but as we continue to develop, we will find it. So this is draw player 2, and let's go ahead and throw draw player 2 into our draw statement. And we see that, and we see that. Okay, so it looks like it is working perfectly. And so that is going to be all for this tutorial. Like I said, we're setting ourselves up for some collision detection next. And I might be able to make that video right here in a couple minutes. So I will see you soon for that. Thank you. Bye.